Hello everyone, this is Andy Reza. In this video we will export our model and get it into Unity. Now I had exported it, but I will tell you what to do. Well, first of all, you may notice I have imported an orange tank. The same process, I got the MU file into Blender and then from Blender back into Maya, textured it and put it in place because I noticed that these curved fins would be offsetted and I want to, put them right sitting on top of the tank. Now, something you might notice, every now and then when I zoom out of the part, you see this artifact. Well, this is a Maya's artifact. As you see, it's not even showing up. Well, let me say, okay, render. So, yeah, it's not a problem there, okay? So, one more thing. You may notice that, hey, where is your texture? I don't know. Something happened to my file and the textures are not showing up on my model anymore. But you will see that when I exported this model into Unity, everything is working, okay? So, now, what to do? Well, of course, we have the parts, and by the way, these parts are sitting on a very special way. I had to go back and forth between Unity, Maya, and Ksp to find it. You see that the front of the object is facing negative X, and that is a bit important, if you ask me. So, yeah, you need to be careful about that. So now I select the object, go to File, Export Selection, and into our Asset Textures Structural Mount. And for some reason, I don't see my models here, but I assure you that I have two FBX files here. And here they are. Okay. Also, I went ahead and selected this check texture and chose these white strips and converted them to orange because, well, cancel that out. I have a duplicated version of this guy, and let me first open it to show you the difference. So save, and this curve is showing the front direction, so delete that. And you will notice that in this model there is no fins. This model is changed so that it will work like a radial tank that can mount an engine on the bottom, okay? So the previous one will be a Rapier engine. This one will be a radial tank that you can mount your engines into it, okay? Now, out of Maya, back into Unity. Well, first of all, you have the material. The material is a standard. We don't want the standards. We want to go to Ksp, bump a specular, and it will automatically get these two going on. Okay, and he just replied to my response. Okay, so right now I won't deal with problems like animations, etc., etc. What I will do is that I will duplicate this and I will call it 1A, okay? And for 1A, I will choose this guy. Now, I will drag and drop my mount 1. And you see that, yeah, the textures are there indeed. This one has those fins on it, okay? But before even doing that, we need to go to animations, and we have an open animation that is from 0 to 60. And you can see the animation going on here, okay? And I will add another animation, and I will call it close, and it goes from 60 to 120, and that is the closing of the fin, you know. Okay, so now I will drag it here and hit apply to apply the animations. Of course, you wouldn't see the animations right now, but that's okay. Okay, as I said, my first intention is to get this guy up into Ksp. So right on top of this guy, you see the base metal shader is standard. It shouldn't. It should be Ksp bump specular. Okay, so I want physics mesh collider, so it gets the mesh collider. Then I want Ksp part 2. Now beforehand it says choose the stuff, you know, choose the folders, and there should be a folder way of opening stuff for this guy, I hope. Ksp asset compiler. No, that's not what I want. Come on. Actually, that's okay. So I will say the model name is model 1. Okay. Now the file URL, I told it to go to game data stational construct. Now here I have a structural radial mount and select the folder. The textures I want to be MBM. This is a DDS format, and I hit write. That's it. Okay, so I can now hide this mount 1 and drag and drop mount 1A. Okay, you may notice that, hey, it's using the same texture. Well, it's not a big deal. We have a second material for this guy, so I will drag and drop it here, and you see that the textures are being changed. Okay, so this is our 1A without fins on top, and there is a small space. I tend to have indicator lights later on here if I want to, but let's do the same steps. Physics mesh collider, Ksp part 2. This is model 1A. MBM, select structural radial mount, select folder, and write. Okay, so now if I come to my radial mount folder, I get 3 files here: base fuel color, material color MBM, base material color MBM, base material normal MBM, model 1, model 1A. Now I need to have a Cfg file. Well, for the Cfg files, the easiest way is to go into one of these things, and it doesn't matter what, but let's start with something that is from parts first, the structural. And I don't know, choose anyone you want. I use the strut octo. I will copy this guy, come back here, structural radial mount, and I will paste it here, and I will call it radial Rapier Engine. Okay. Of course, as I said, right now I won't deal with anything related to the engine, etc., etc. All I want is to get my part into the game. So I will call it something radial mounted Rapier. And just to make it unique, I will put a J here. Model is, of course, no, it's module. Okay, it's a part module. Then author is me, and that's my name in forums. Now the name is model1.mu, scale is 1, but rescale factor is 0.01, okay? Now, we don't have a stack top. This is a Rapier engine, so we don't have a stack bottom. But we have a node attach, and this is being used when you want to attach your part to the surface of others. This is what dictates the part where to attach from. So it will be -8, that's 0, and -1 on X. Tech required, I don't care about it right now. Category is structural, and title is 2.5 radial mounted Rapier engine. Okay. Manufacturer is Ksp Co. It's me. And I will just copy and paste my description. That's a funny thing. Jeb always wanted a radially attached Rapier engine after nagging people and bothering many engineers and eating tons of snacks. Here you have it. The attachment rules is the same. Mass, I don't bother with these right now, and just save it. Now that I have that, I will copy it here, and I will make it radial fuel tank. Open that one. And of course, now we need to change that. J radial mounted fuel tank. And model 1A. Did I put it capital A or not? Yep. Okay. So the rest is the same. Now, we want another node attached, but this is node underline stack, and we need to call it, and I will call it bottom, and the stack should be lower s, okay? Equals to, now the numbers may look crazy, 50.9 minus 40.1 0, and this is the rotation, so no, actually the direction 0, 0, minus 1, that's 0, 0, that's 0, and the node size I put 2, but I will go with 1 now. Okay, tech required is the same. I will come back to that, and this is fuel tank. Always wanted a radially attached fuel tank that would look awesome with most of the engines. Okay, the rest is the same. Okay, so would we get them in game? Well, there's only one way to notice it. Let's run the game, because right now we have all the things we want. We have the configs, we have the models, we have the textures. If everything goes okay, we should see them in the game. As the game comes up, let me talk about a few things. Although we are developing our own mod, there are few mods out there that we can get benefit from. And one of them is this, Benign part switch. And here's the link on top, okay? Benign part switch lets you toggle many different aspects of your config on and off, one of them being your nodes. So I like it. So thankfully the latest version works with 1.2.1, and I downloaded it. The other one is Node Helper, and Node Helper is not still officially updated, but Linux Guru unofficially updated. So get the Node Helper from this link until another official release comes out. Okay, so start the game, resume saved, and yeah, I had a save game because I was testing stuff between the videos. So let's go in. Now we remember that our engine right now works with orange tanks. And where's our engines? Well, we'll take a look. There's a fuel tank, and bam. And what the heck? This should be the fuel tank. And then we have Rapier Engine. That is again the same model. Huh. Did I screw anything? Totally possible. Let's take a look at our config. It's Model 1A. Model 1A, and in Unity, this is Model 1A. Oh, it has an animator. I'll remove the component for time being. And let's delete this guy. So this is Model 1A. Okay. I can easily delete that model part right now. Write it again. So we got it back. Okay. Now how can I load them? Well, let's delete these. Let's go out. With Alt F12, we go into database and we'll reload the database. It will take few seconds or minutes depending on how many parts you have in the game, but it will reload all the parts. Remember, if you have module manager patches, you need Alt F11 to reload the database, not this Alt 12. This will only reload the parts. So, come on. Okay. Going back into structurals, and the fuel tank is still having the fins, I think. Yep, it's the same model and the same texture. Okay, so something is wrong, actually. So how can I find what is wrong? Well, let's delete this guy. Let's go into our models, and this is 1A. This is 1. File, new scene. Don't save. And I don't need any one of them. Drag and drop this guy. Remove the animator for time being. Then add a component, physics, mesh collider. Add another component, Ksp part tools. This is, let's call this model 1 underline A. MBM, set, structure radial mount, select folder, and I wonder what is this clean up output directory. Compress asset bundles. I don't care about them right now. Well, I can do something. I can create another folder here, and it will be called temp. And I will remove this guy from here. And I will choose that temp directory so that they won't overlap each other. And then with part tools level to denote that the part tools will be written bulk export. That's okay. Now, the material I want is this guy. Okay? Yep. So I will say write. And now I get these guys. Well, I don't need these two. I just need this one. I will move it here. And fuel tank is 1 underline A. Yep. So let's relaunch KSP. And come on. Okay, start game. Here's I'm saved. Load. Go back here. Find the orange tank. Go to structure all, and this is radially mounted fuel tank. And radially mounted La. So I have another option. My other option is to basically delete this guy for timing. So I will end up with this guy. And I will delete this folder. Okay. Materials. I won't be able to do it, huh? Okay, that's okay. Now what? Will we behave? Control X. Control V, delete this guy, and actually we can convert these names, you know, like model dash 1 and model dash 1A, and now I can choose this. And this one for the model. I'm not sure why it's doing it. I think it's keeping something in memory. Totally possible. I had seen it before. I'm not sure where and when, but I had seen it before. And by the way, I want to rename this one underline 1 underline A. And yeah, so Alt F12, database, reload database, and at the same time, if you want to make sure that you are basically doing the correct thing, you can import the mu file from that folder. So go up into developing KSP, the game itself, and then 1A, import. And you will see that, well, it's the correct model. Interesting, isn't it? Now, it's the correct model, so it's being exported correctly. The name is unique. All I can think about was the model naming. Yeah, and it's not behaving. Okay. What can I do is this. I get this, and this. Copy it. And make a folder here and call Rapier. And then a folder called tank. And put them in tank. Okay. That's ugly, but meh. Then delete these, get these guys into Rapier. I'm not sure if that is the reason. It shouldn't. Although you notice that I'm using the old way of this mesh equals to. Let's first configure if, let's first find if the things now behave correctly. Then we come back. Because right now I have duplicated textures in memory. I don't like that. So, orange tank and structurals. Nope. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is the Rapier engine. This is the fuel tank. So we got them reversed, I think. I think we got them reversed, but let's take a look at these guys. Okay, so first of all, one of these will have an attached node. Oh yeah, I totally got the configs reversed. Yeah, okay, so that's cool. Let's go out, don't save. Go back to our stuff, tank. Yeah, I got them reversed. Okay, so into Rapier and fuel tank into the tank. Now I can rename this guy to model and this guy to model. As you see, it looks like it's not reading the MU files correctly with that system, but let's do one more Alt F12 and database and reload database, and I will tell you how can we solve this. And I totally forgot that I need to change the configs. God. So it's model.mu, and this guy is no. Okay. Model.mu. So I think I need another reload database. Now, as I said, this is the old way of assigning a mesh into configs, okay? The newest way, if I can find it, Ksp Model Config section is a tad bit different now. So let me see. Come on, where is that model thingy now? It would kill Ksp guys to put a good example config. This is module. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They didn't put a good example on the wiki. So at least now you see that, yeah, but there we go. They switched the parts. Okay. So here's the thing. We will have a Rapier engine, okay? This Rapier engine will have air intake, and this is the nozzle of the engine itself. Now I used the same mesh but tweaked it so that now it doesn't have any air intake, but it has an attachment point down here. And I put the attachment point by try and error in a case that most of the engines look nice most of the time. Of course you need to tweak it like this, but it looks really nice on this guy. And even the bigger ones like this looks okay. And the nuclear one, why not? Let's try it. As you see, it fits somewhat nicely, but of course if you rotate it around, you get this little bulge here. Now I tried it in front view and it was a fairly easy set, so like that. Then you get your nuclear and you just mount it there, you know, and everything looks right off the bat okay. Of course there are edited penetrations, but you know, if you look at the engine from this distance, you will never ever notice that, well, it's bad. Of course these gigantic ones won't look correct, but yeah, the 3.5 ones won't look okay, but any other engine fits right at home, you know. Yeah. You see, it's like it's a built-in stuff. Of course, there will be a bit of penetration, but you can't really avoid it, you know. So we can put it like that. So that's our two models being imported into Ksp right now. And well, you see that it's not surface attaching properly all the time. I'm still working on that. I'm not sure if that's something I need to do in the modeling, in whatever. You need to be a bit dedicated to the center of the side, and I think it's part of the attachment, surface attaching of these guys, the tanks themselves. But you can get it to work, right, if you just pay attention a little, okay? Anyway, how would it look on smaller tanks? Let's test it. So we get that, and we get that. Of course I need another one on top of this. Okay, they won't look good, I'm telling you. Yeah, no matter how you put it. Well, you can do this. It's okay. The fins are inside. But on these guys, well, look at this. Holy crap, isn't it? Yeah. They are meant to be used by those orange tanks, but you know, with the fiddling a little bit, you can just fit them nicely on bigger tanks, and I'm happy with that. And any things that get interesting, like this guy. Well, guess what? It's not fitting. Well, it will be okay, like this. Yep. So you can get it to work. It was a model that being imported. What do you want from me? I'm not a good modeler. But even on fuselage, oh, it's gigantic, so no. Of course, you can have twig scale and do all the fancy things. We will take a look at that later down the road, not now. But even on Rocomax, I think it would look good. Yep, sits right at home. So yeah, that's our model, you know, being imported into Ksp. Now, as I said, I won't bother myself with the animations, with the, you know, for example, this guy needs fuel. I'm not bothering myself with it right now. First things first, I want to get an idea of how to fiddle things into each other. Now, let's rename this guy to fuel tank.mu. And let's call this one Rapier Engine.mu. Now I will cut these guys. Actually, I'll get the whole thing out, put it here, remove this, get the tanks, cut them, get up, paste here, and replace those two. And then, well, fuel tank is this guy, so Ctrl+C. No. And I will change the name from model.mu to fueltank.mu. And this guy from model.mu to Rapier Engine.mu. I'm curious if that would work. If not, then we need to go into the newer version of config setting and well, it's not that hard, you know. It's really not that hard. So, resume save, load. Get there. Not that. That. And yeah, it's not behaving. It gets the first model that it finds and puts it there. So that's something that we need to work on right now, because I don't want duplicated textures everywhere. So this guy, we will get rid of this mesh, okay? We'll Ctrl+X that. Instead, we say model, and we open and close braces, and here we add this, but instead of mesh, we call it model equals to. Now, I need to go to the exact folder structure, and that is this, okay? So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, convert these backslashes to forward slashes, and that. Then we say position equals to 0.0, 0.0, 0.0. No, not that. Then we say rotation equals to 0, 0, 0. And then scale equals to 1.0, 1.0, 1.0. Now, remember, this scale is totally different than the scale factor. If I go 0.01 here, then I need to drop these attachment nodes divided by 100. So I just keep it by 1, and I go for a rescale factor. Okay? So I will copy this whole thing, paste it here, and I just change the file name. Boom. Remember, this scale and rescale factor needs to sit sit there. Okay, let's launch the game. Resume saved, load, and you don't get any of the models, as you see. So I screwed something up. Chances is that it won't like this space. So save that. Save that, and going up here, I will remove that space. Yeah, no, no. Let's launch Ksp, and let's see if this solved anything. Of course, the tank is now empty. Come on, Ksp, show yourself. Start, resume saved, load. Go there. Structural and no parts. So it's not working. Now let's see why it's not working. I think I know. Here I need to add a folder called parts. Move this guy here. And no. Then go into here. Of course, they are all structural things, but Control X, yeah, I will put it there. So don't need the structural. Radial mounted. So we don't have structural, but instead have parts. So parts. And this .mu is irrelevant now. So maybe that was the reason. Anyway, now we are in a better organization, because parts always sit under parts. Anyhow, come on. And there we go. Now we have both of them. This is the fuel tank. This is the engine. And we are not using double texturing thingy, you know. And to confirm that this is the fuel tank, I should be able to put anything right under it. There is the attach node. Okay? So I'm really happy with this. Okay. In this episode, we imported our models into Ksp, and now I think in next episode I may look at just, you know, showing our animation in the editor or something like that, if I can. Remember, Let me see. We are in 45 minutes. Okay. In next episode, I will first add some mods here that are useful and I may use them. Okay. So until that episode, have fun everyone. Bye bye.